population. So they are able to fly and return to Perth, covering where 91% of our people live. We have an aircraft in Bunbury and an aircraft here in Jandakot, providing 24/7 operational response. We have a third aircraft in the event that there's a need for replacing one of these whilst they're being maintained, or there's potentially a need for any defects that arise. What these aircraft do is lift the quality of our support, our service to our pilots and our flight crew to the absolute best in the country, providing even greater service. The crews here provide and are renowned for providing exceptional service to Western Australians. Now it's going to be even better with the appropriate level commensurate with the quality of service that they deliver normally in terms of the aircraft. It's a $26.7 million commitment from the state to ensure that we have these aircraft, not actually owned by the state, but a leasing arrangement that enables us to have aircraft always provided. I have the Commissioner say some words, and then Fitzy apparently is really a class act and can deliver some good lines, and then we'll come back for questions.
No pressure.
Yeah. I'll jump in before Fitzy is a class act.
Oh, you're a class act.
Thank you. Look, fantastic addition to Fire and Emergency Services here in Western Australia, and I think everybody knows and is well versed with the RAC Rescue helicopter in terms of what it provides across the state. These new aircraft allow us to fit up to 10 people into these aircraft if we need to use them for some of the fire and emergency service tasks that we may need. Night vision capability, forward-looking infrared camera, and of course, as the Minister mentioned, also a broader range. So we use these not just for going out to car accidents and those sorts of people who are critically injured, taking them to hospital, but they are also used for marine rescue, should they be needed out in the ocean, and then of course we use them also for flooding and fires and those sorts of things. So incredibly capable aircraft provides a broader range of capabilities to better service the state. Thanks.
Morning everyone. Any questions?
Could you just quickly get you to say and spell your first and last name for us?
Sure, my name's Garth Fitzgerald, Garth Fitzgerald.
Talk us through this aircraft.
Sure, so as we've already said, the AW139 was built in Italy, and then we brought 3 of them over here to Australia, and we fitted them out locally utilising Australian companies. And as it stands at the moment, it's the most advanced, emergency rescue helicopter in the country. For the flight crew and the paramedics, it's a huge leap forward in what we're used to over the last 20, 25 years. We always get asked, what's it like compared to the old aircraft? And I sort of try and simplify it for them a little bit. We've kind of gone from the Hilux to the 300 series. It's a lot safer, it's a lot faster, and we can go a lot further. So it's great for us. And as the Minister said, it's great for the wider community. We can fit out the aircraft in many different ways. It's set up at the moment primarily for road crash or accidents out in the country, but we can fit it out with 10 seats and move personnel anywhere we need to help out with any incidents or accidents further away from the metropolitan area. The cameras we've touched on help us look for people out in the ocean or out in the bush. The hoist that we have on the right hand side's got 80 metres of cable, so if we can't land, then we can hoist down the paramedic to them and then bring them back on board and get them back to the city. There's a lot more room in the cabin. There's about 20 to 30% more room, so the workspace is increased. We can have 2 people lying down in the back and 2 paramedics sitting there looking after them, just like they're in an ICU while we bring them back to Perth. So it's a huge leap across the board, and we're very lucky to make that leap.
What's that going to mean for a patient ultimately? Like obviously you're saying getting there quicker, faster, but could this mean the difference between a patient surviving?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the medical stream, they talk about the golden hour, that first hour. This is the fastest helicopter available, and we can get there nice and fast, pick them up with the highest quality of care available, and then get them back to the city. So you would hope that the survival rates increase with that, and we've been flying around in it now for over a year, and we're certainly a lot faster. We go to these towns and these places on the highways regularly, and we're just doing these types of jobs quicker, so we're getting people home safely quicker.
Question from our regional team. I mean, it's
Yep.
a no-brainer, 91% of the state fund. This is only going to be better for them, the people out in the regions and remote.
Yeah, absolutely. We can reach further out into the country and even out over the ocean than we previously could. We do have fuel caches scattered around, so we can go there, get more fuel, and keep on going if we need to. So that longer range really does include a lot more people, so it's a great asset to have.
No one wants to be in the back of one of these, but if you are, this is the one you want to be in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Fast, smooth, and safe. They're the three big S's for us. So if you're unfortunate enough to be in the back, it's the best machine to get you to hospital.
Are rescue operations becoming more complex and more common these days?
Absolutely. People are adventurers, and they find themselves in difficult places seeking some fun. We always seem to be going to Bluff Knoll. We're always going to the Bibbulmun track. We're always going to remote places where people surf, fish, ride their dirt bikes, ride their mountain bikes, and these are complex things to execute. Retrieval, ambulances can't always get to them, and that's where the helicopter comes into its own. We can pull up overhead, hoist down one of the most qualified personnel in the state, and then retrieve them back and get them back to Perth. So they are becoming more complex as the population increases and people's activities, get more diverse. Our jobs become trickier. So.
Is there anything that kit in there, like technology, that particularly excites you? What's your favourite bit of the?
My favourite bit of technology would probably be the night vision goggles. Being able to safely see at night is a huge leap forward. We've had them now for over a decade. You'd think they would get boring, but they don't. At night time, if we were standing here at Jandakot Airport, you wouldn't be able to see 100 metres away, but with the night vision goggles we can see for kilometres, and that really makes a big difference in safety, but also in locating people. They'll pick up any light source from a lighter to a mobile phone, and we can see them really nice and fast. So great bit of kit.
And that's not new though, that's an upgrade with night vision goggles?
Oh, it's not a recent upgrade, but it is an upgrade, yeah. So.
Pilot was telling us, so they've got ability now to have a system that they can bring up street maps on and drop a pin, and they can match that, overlay it with FLIR, so the forward-looking infrared radar, and have the ability for precise locating individuals or incidents, and also these aircraft can hover in position once they get there and allow them to not have to worry about the location. It'll remain in position above the person they're trying to lift. Pretty extraordinary aircraft. Way better than I used to fly around. Probably better than you used to.
True, yeah.
And you're younger than me.
Let's get you on another issue.
Yeah, you guys, nothing else emergency services?
Emergency services related, but you want to ask on helicopter?
About which?
I'll get the that's fine. There was a protest this morning at
yeah.
Parliament House. Firefighters, they're calling for better pay and conditions. So a lot of trucks lined up. What's your response to these firefighters?
Yeah, so the career firefighters are engaged in an enterprise bargaining agreement process at the moment. So the state's negotiating in good faith, and that's just a process that plays out.
Do you think they deserve more money?
Look, I'm actually not the minister responsible for the negotiations because that is the Industrial Relations Minister. But what I can say is there's a range of matters that they're interested in, and they're all being considered and worked through as part of the process.
Yeah, that's Cole Blanchard's plane out there. Probably just worth mentioning. So he's got a bit of helicopter envy at the moment because. So I wouldn't put it past Cole.
yours goes
I wouldn't
further.
put it past Cole that he's doing that on purpose. He's trying to insert himself into the press conference, right?
Can I ask you, how long do you think these helicopters will service WA, I guess, before we are looking for another upgrade?
Look, we'd be 10, 15 years. The ones that we've just retired, the oldest one was 24 years. So I think that gives you an indicator of where we're at. We've certainly got a long-term lease with CHC, but they are the latest and the greatest. They are seen as the best helicopter for search and rescue capability in the world, and we're incredibly grateful to the government, of course, to make sure that we're getting the best platform that we can possibly get.
In terms of where they're based, so a couple here and one in Bunbury, was there any consideration for Geraldton?
Look, that's a matter for government to consider. Certainly we've got a base in Bunbury, a base here. We've got a spare, which is the one behind me, which rotates through between Bunbury and here at Jandakot. And importantly, one of the reasons we got the AW139 was its ability to fire faster and further, and that means that we do have the capability to get as far as Dongra, and we have fuel caches around the state that DFS Air Operations uses, which are available for the rescue chopper as well.
So the range is Dongra and return without refuelling. So with refuelling and utilising caches that they have in locations, they can obviously extend anywhere in the state. The thing about the locations is it's operationally focused where the demand is. As I said earlier, these aircraft without refuelling have the capacity to cover 91% of the state's population. So if there's extended demand, perhaps more intense or more dense population movement when the holiday seasons or in the dry in the north, you could contemplate in the future you might respond to that if necessary. But right now you'd be looking at letting the operational demand drive the locations for the aircraft rather than some politician wanting to tell these guys how to do their job.
Minister, what do you make of reports that prisoners are eating guinea pigs from an animal shelter?
Look, I think the Commissioner for Corrective Services responded to this yesterday. It's not appropriate that prisoners get food, as he said, from anywhere outside the Corrective Services system. I understand that in a number of locations they may have been offered food. Yeah, it's just human nature, people having these guys do good work for them. So Section 95 people who are able to be, they've been cleared for release from prison, it's generally in the last 3 months of their sentence, and they do some extraordinary work. So Section 95 prisoners helped clean up after the tornadoes in Bunbury. They did an incredible amount of work and assisted DFS personnel and SES personnel in the immediate response, but also in the long-term clear-up. That was an extraordinary contribution. They do things like there's a transition centre for veterans in Jarradale. They've done work, a huge amount of work there on day release in Section 95 work. There are work camps around the state which are populated by Section 95 prisoners doing an incredible amount of good work right across the length and breadth of Western Australia for free for communities, and they do good things. Occasionally some of them play up, do the wrong thing. They'll be dealt with. The ones involved in this will be investigated. If necessary, they'll be disciplined, and they definitely won't be doing Section 95 whilst that's going on.
In your opinion, do you think that prisoners are at all abusing the work release program?
In the vast majority of them, no. They are by definition. They're people who've served in a sentence in prison as a consequence of breaking the law. So it shouldn't be any great shock that there's potential for them to perhaps not obey all the rules. But they need to. They will be caught in the event that they breach, and in this case, that has happened, and they'll suffer a consequence as a result. Even if it's not being on Section 95 anymore, because Section 95 means they can go out from the prison and do work and prepare themselves for returning to the community.